Happy Friday. Happy Friday. Happy Friday, everyone. You've got Justin coming back for another weekly live stream. If this is your first time here, my name is Justin Moore. I'm the founder of Creator Wizard, where I teach you how to find and negotiate your dream sponsorships. Today, we're talking about something very fun, which is 5 negotiation tactics that I learned from my kids. Even if you don't have kids, this one is a lot of fun, so I hope you stick around. These live streams every week are, my time is your time. So whatever questions you have around sponsorship negotiations, brand deals, trying to reach out, pitch brands, please let me know in the chat where you're tuning in from, because I would definitely love to answer your questions a little bit later in the stream. So yeah, let me know in the chat. We are live on a zillion different platforms. We've got Jerem Mayhem. We've got Gabriel tuning in from the TikTok chat. Let's pull up the IG live stream as well. We've got Real Julio Senior Curator Council tuning in as well. Great to see y'all here. So let's just kick it right off with the topic at hand today. Again, 5 negotiation tactics that I learned from my kids. I'm trying to get a little more fun with the content lately, just because I'm a very silly person in general. If you ever met me in real life, I make lots of jokes and stuff like that. So I want to inject a little bit of that into my content, into the things that I write in my newsletters and so on. So this was an attempt at that, and I had a lot of fun doing that. Okay. All right. So, I have been negotiating brand sponsorships for a decade now. And for a while, I thought that I'd seen everything, right? Every complex deal, every bizarre legal clause. But do you want to know my most formidable negotiating partner? My kids. That's right. Right. And you're probably thinking, well, how can a couple of little kids out negotiate a grown man? You mean other than somehow convincing me to change their diapers and wake up at all hours of the night before they can even speak? Well, I'll tell you how. Because they understand the basics of human motivation. Okay? So let me explain how kids use mental jujitsu to get what they want and how you can apply these principles during your next negotiation with the brand. You ready? Okay, number 1. If I eat more vegetables, can I have extra dessert? Translation, if I give you more than expected, will you give me more of what I want? Okay, so sure, while I'm not obligated to reward them for eating a balanced diet, it sure tingles the I must reciprocate part of my brain as a parent, right? And so when you offer a brand more than they had originally asked of you, it often allows you to upsell yourself into more moolah. Right? Let's say CPG brand came to you asking for 1 post. Okay, offer 3 posts so they don't have to juggle working with 2 other creators, and then you can 3x your money. Maybe a toy brand reach out to you. They want 2 months of usage rights. Okay, well, you can offer 12 months and 6x your money. Okay, SaaS tool suggested doing a webinar for their customers. Okay, well, why don't you offer to do one every month with different themes and 12x your money? Right? So the point is that by offering to give the brand something more or different, you'll start to become their go-to partner whenever they have a unique campaign idea in the future. All right. So that's number 1. Okay. I've got 5 of these for you. So I hope you're strapped in because they get progressively more hilarious. Thanks for tuning in on TikTok. Holy cow. How do we have 99 people tuning in on TikTok? What is up? Did someone share this or something? Let me know where you're tuning in from in the TikTok chat, because we are definitely going to be answering all these questions in a little bit about brand deals, negotiation, sponsorship. 122 people are on my live stream right now. What the heck is happening? Thanks for tuning in, y'all. We got so much. Let me know where you're tuning in from in the chat. Real quickly, who we got? We got Fourth Born Child, Cal Burton, the KMH family, DM fam. What's going on, D? Great to see y'all here. Okay, so let's dive right back into it. Again, the topic is 5 negotiation tactics that I learned from my kid. Okay, so the second negotiation tactic that I learned from my children is when they say, hey, you know what? You brushed Liam's teeth first last night, so tonight I get to be first. Those of you who are parents, you ever heard that one? Right? So the translation is, I saw you working with those other creators last campaign. Here's why you should work with me on this one. Right? And so, I recently talked about why you shouldn't be mad when other creators in your niche get sponsorships. It's because it means that you're next. Right? If a brand you love sponsors another creator, it's time to pitch them why they should include you in their next campaign. For example, your audience has already expressed that they're interested in the brand's products, right? Or you can create additional assets for them to use across their social media and for paid ads, right? You can put them in touch with other creators to help spread the message even further, right? And while you take a finder's fee in the process, right? And so there's just billions being poured into the creator economy this year alone, okay? And so an opportunity for one of us is an opportunity for all of us, all right? So that's truly how I feel, this scarcity mindset that a lot of folks have around sponsorships and brand deals and working with brands. And I'm not going to share my brand contacts with you. I'm not going to introduce you. Or this type. It's this scarcity mindset that is holding a lot of us back because, again, there is more than enough money to go around. Trust me. Okay. So the third negotiation tactic that I learned from my kids is when they say, you said I only had to fold these 2 baskets of laundry. If you want me to do another, you got to give me 50 cents more. Translation: if brands ask for more work that wasn't agreed to initially, I've got to charge them more. Right? So while there are some situations where it makes sense to do a little extra work for free, right? Such as, helping your brand or your agency contact win, it's critical to clearly define these terms in the contract. So if the brand or the company starts asking for additional work, there's no question that incremental compensation will be required. So for example, if they say, we were hoping that you'd have combed your hair to the left for this video, please reshoot it with this in mind. You can pull up the agreement and just give them the old, that's not what the contract said, right? So again, you need to ensure that all of this is enumerated in a written agreement so that there's no surprises. Okay. All right. I'm going to take a swig here. Squishy Muffin Official says, you look like Paul Kellerman from Prison Break. Prison Break was an absolutely fantastic show. I love that show. And yeah, that was a great show. My wife and I binged that a long time ago. Hello from Virginia, Buttercream Bakery. We've got 314 Handcrafted. What is going on? We got so many people. Bree Payne tuning in. Grandma Sky Lady says, I must be in a museum because you are truly a work of art. Love the vibes. I appreciate that, Grandma Sky Lady, but I am happily married. I'm taken. Thank you, though. We got Paul from the Green Industry Podcast tuning in on IG. What is up, Paul? We got Moccasin Mama, Mela Fidel tuning in as well. Who else we got on the YouTube chat? We've got the Root Group. Bryce. Holy cow, we've got Brian's Lawn Maintenance. Just send a super chat that says lunch on us, $20 super chat. You know what's even more remarkable about this is that I am doing a one-on-one coaching session with Brian in 2.5 hours. And you send me a super chat, Brian. Come on, this is too much, man. I appreciate that. That is so kind. Those of you guys who tune in on the live streams every week know that anytime you send super chats, that goes to our date night fund. So every Friday night, we don't cook, we order food, we get some wine, we do the date night in thing. So Brian, that is definitely going to the DoorDash fund for tonight. I appreciate you. Can't wait to talk to you later today, Brian. I just want to take a quick moment to mention something about Brian, and I hope you don't mind me sharing this, Brian, but Brian, I do one-on-one coaching sessions, and I have like a link where you can like book sessions. And Brian booked all 6 of my open sessions at one time. He went in there and he booked every single one. So I think I'm talking with Brian for the next like 3 or 4 weeks straight. So I'm just so stoked. And honestly, like folks like you, Brian, are a big inspiration to me also because, I think that there's no better investment that you can make in yourself as a creator, whether it's sponsorship coaching with me or just other types of coaching, business coaching, if you're trying to get an executive coach or whatever it is, to invest in yourself, right? Because I made the decision a couple of years ago to hire an executive coach, and it was not cheap. It was like $2,500 a month, at least for me at the time. It was a lot of money, and because I wasn't doing the coaching stuff now. I was still running the agency, and yet you underestimate the power of just having one simple conversation with someone that can change the trajectory of your entire career, your entire business, or your entire life. That was the amazing thing about my executive coach. His name was Crawford, and he, really took this 360 approach to like, what is the life that you want to build for yourself? Because I think a lot of times we get so single-minded on our business and growing the business and all that stuff. When you can, end up creating a business that you actually don't like. Right? You whether it's the people that you don't like working with, or the types of customers that you work with, or the types of projects, or things like that, right? You build a business inadvertently, right? You kind of go after the money. Like that's the only motivation. I'm going to go after the monies, go after the big deals. And then fast forward 4 or 5 years down the line into your business and realize like, wow, I really don't like what I do. I don't like waking up and like servicing, these customers or working with these people or whatever. And it's just like, this next chapter of my life, I have been so much more intentional about designing a business that I really am fired up and excited about, waking up and working with these people, serving these, creators and all that stuff. So, really, really appreciate that, Brian. Means a lot to me. All right, so we're not done. We still have two more negotiation tactics that I've learned. All right. So the fourth negotiation tactic that I have learned from my kids is that they'll say things like, if I empty the trash every day this month, can I get the new Zelda Breath of the Wild game on the Nintendo Switch? This is a true story, by the way. And the translation is, I have to tell the brand what I really want. I cannot assume that they know. I always get suspicious when my boys are suddenly very helpful for seemingly no reason. Right. And one mistake I see creators making all the time is they get, 5 or 6 emails into a negotiation before actually telling the brand that they expect to be compensated. Especially when you're the one reaching out to a brand, you need to make it clear early on that while you love their brand and their products, you're not going to work for free. Okay. Has that ever happened to you? Let me know in the chat if this has ever happened to you, where you've reached out, you've pitched a brand, you kind of skirted around the payment like conversation or the compensation piece, and then you got 5, 6, 7, 10 email. You had a call with them, right? And then push comes to shove, and they're like, "All right, we're shipping the product out to you." And then you realize, like, "Oh shoot, I didn't tell them that I actually wanted to get paid for this," right? How have you navigated that situation in the past? Let me know in the comments, because it's surprisingly common. It's hard. It's like, when do you actually ask for money? I actually have a video on my YouTube channel called "How to Say Pay Me When You Pitch Brands First." So if that's a common situation that you have gotten into, I would really suggest checking out that video. Uncut chorizo. I love chorizo, by the way. That's like my absolute favorite. Whenever I get a burrito or a taco salad or whatever, it's always going to be chorizo in there, but that's unrelated. I like your username. I said, I like your shelf back there. Thank you. I appreciate that very much. All right, guys, we're getting into it. Okay. So the fifth negotiation tactic that I learned from my kids is when they say, "Can I have one more drink of water before bed?" And, they've got the puppy dog eyes, like, "Please," right? And the translation is, I am going to make myself so awesome to work with that the brand can't say no. And so even though I know it's a stalling tactic, and I know my boys are just feeling FOMO that my wife and I get to watch shows at night, and I know they're not actually thirsty, I get up and I get them the dang water because they're just, they're adorable little humans. And so likewise, as a creator, you should aim to do stuff that makes the brand love you, so they'll want to keep you around for as long as possible. So this means replying to emails swiftly. This means being polite throughout negotiations. This means showing genuine interest in their brand and that you want their campaigns to succeed. This means promptly writing up post-campaign reports. And this means preemptively pitching your next collaboration and show how you can help them win again. Because believe me, a lot of creators can make life kind of difficult for brands. And so your job is to illustrate that you're the opposite of that. Okay? All right. So that was the 5 negotiation tactics that I have learned from my kids. Let me know in the chat. Is there any others that you have learned from, any negotiation tactics or strategies that you have learned from unexpected sources? Because I would love to hear it. We got Dale Roberts tuning in on the YouTube chat. Whoa, I just sprayed water. Hey, Justin, taking the day off, and I saw that you were live. What is up, Dale? Great to see you, man. I did a one-on-one coaching session with Dale because he so graciously referred 15 creators to my newsletter. And you made this like beautiful testimonial on your Instagram stories for me. I must say, like, when y'all send me testimonials, it doesn't even have to be a filmed one or, like a video or whatever. When you just send me DMs or send me emails, letting me know I helped you in some small way. Like people, when people reply to me and say that they got a brand deal from like an opportunity that I share in my newsletter, that literally makes my day, because it's like I'm sharing these links that I'm just finding from all these sources. And so it's like, for people to actually turn these into paid partnerships just absolutely makes my day. I can't tell you how fired up I get when I help people make money, because it's just like, I don't know. It's just like, I don't know. It's the spice of life for me. It keeps me, it helps me. I don't know. I'm so fulfilled. There's 2 points that get me so fired up. The first one is when I help creators get their first paid partnership, that very first one, because I remember when, like, back to our very first paid sponsorship, when a brand actually offered to pay us money, or convinced them to pay us money, that was like a major inflection point for our confidence in ourselves as creators, that like, maybe this could be something. I could make this something. I remember that feeling, and it's like, I want everyone to have that feeling. So that's the first one. And the second feeling, that this high that I chase, is helping people when they realize that they can go from charging $1,000 a post to like $10,000 a post without doing 10 times the amount of work, right? It's like working smarter instead of harder. And like, so that transition as well, that's the big unlock, where it's like, wow, this could be either, man, I could do this full time, or this is like a much bigger thing that I can envision for myself. And so those are the two, man, I just like, inject those into my veins. I just absolutely love those. And by the way, that first one, getting that first paid deal, that is the entire thrust and the entire focus of my brand new course, Gifted to Paid, that is launching on Wednesday of next week. Can you believe it, y'all? If you are not on my newsletter right now, the very first email goes out, kind of the hype email goes out on Saturday, this Saturday, and tomorrow it goes out tomorrow, kind of announcing what's going to be entailed in the course, and then it officially goes live on Wednesday. I can't even describe to you how much, like, how stressed out I've been, candidly, over the last like couple weeks, because my to-do list of all the things that we need to do before like the official launch is just very, very long. I see the light though, like I would say I'm about halfway done with the to-do list. There's still a bunch of stuff. Finished the sales page, so that's done. All of the emails are loaded in. I need to schedule it today. That's going to be like my last thing. So I have like, it's a sequence, right? So it's like, all the emails are written out. They're all planned in terms of like when they're going to be sent and all that stuff. So I have to schedule that. But then there's like back end stuff, ensuring that, all the modules and the videos and everything are seamless, and they're all, so when you actually do check out and choose to invest in the program, when you get sent into the area where you can view all the videos and all the resources and the templates and all that stuff is like a very seamless user experience. I've just felt, we created a big shout out to George on my team. We wrote a onboarding sequence too. So like, you'll get daily emails for basically 8 days or 7 days once you do purchase it. Because one of the things that I have found when I have purchased, like, because this is going to be my first on-demand program. It's not a live thing. It's like you can binge it essentially if you want. You can binge it in an hour and a half. I purposely wanted to make it I didn't want to make it this thing where it's like, 10 hours of videos. It's like, no one has time for that, especially like we're busy creators, right? So I really condense my most impactful lessons into basically 90 minutes. So you can go from like 0 to hero essentially in 90 minutes to really come away with like really impactful, actionable strategies, email templates. I have 16 different email templates of like, what do you say when, a brand says, hey, can we repost your content? And you want to actually get paid for that. What do you actually say? Or they say, hey, join our affiliate program, but you want to be compensated, like with a flat fee. Or they say, the product is expensive, so that should be compensation enough, right? So there's all these different ways that brands will say to you, hey, we're not going to pay you. But in reality, there should be different things that you say in response, not, I'm only focusing on paid partnerships right now. You just slam the door in their face. Like, that's not what you should say, right? And so this is a lot of the stuff that I focus on in the program. And so what I really wanted to do is that when you join, what I have found when I have joined other kind of self-serve programs, is that you buy it, you get really excited. So like the moment you hit the checkout button, right? It's like you're most excited, right? That's like the height, the crescendo of your excitement. And then it's like if you don't watch it immediately and you don't really do it, and then it's just like time goes by. You don't log in, then you feel guilty for not logging in. And then it's like, so it's like, I want to avoid that feeling. I really want to keep the kind of momentum going. And so we wrote this 7-day email sequence for people that join the program that will basically say, okay, here's what's in module 1. Like, let's get you fired up. Then the next day, here's what's in module 2. So it's like, trying to motivate folks to like really keep that, the hype train going. Right. So that's like a whole other thing. So by the way, if you are not on my newsletter, that would be the best place to, kind of find out about, when everything's going live. And it's just creatorwizard.com/join. And there's something really exciting that I'm doing for the launch. It's going to be a 5-day launch, which is that I'm going to be giving away 5 brand attraction audits. So essentially, I am going to be giving you a personalized video where I go like really deep analyzing your entire social presence and giving you like an analysis of all the recommendations that I would make to essentially attract brands. Because in reality, there's so much tire kicking that goes on when brands are analyzing your social presence and before they ever reach out to you. So they're looking at your, YouTube or your Instagram or your TikTok or whatever, and they're being like, does this person look like they're a good fit for this campaign? Let me just like go down a rabbit hole of all their socials and all this stuff, right? And then they'll reach out to you if they decide that you'll be a good fit, right? And there's so many things that you can be doing to optimize your presence on social media to ensure that you're attracting brands. And so this audit that I'm going to be, it's basically a raffle. I'm going to be, all the people that join within the launch window will be entered into a chance to win one of the 5 audits that I'm going to be doing. And the most exciting part is that these are going to be shared with the entire Gifted to Paid community. So if that's something, if you're brave enough to do that, if you want to join Gifted to Paid and potentially get one of those slots to get one of those audits, then join my newsletter for sure, creatorwizard.com/join. And so you can find out when it launches next week. We've got Monica in the chat saying, that's exciting. Yes, absolutely. Do brands ever hire people who are just starting up their YouTube channel? Monica, it's a great question. And you know what? It's actually something that I cover quite a bit in my Gifted to Paid course, because this program is designed for, oh, hello, darling.
I said
come
hi
here,
to
boo.
You in your chat, and you
Where?
said hi to me, so I
Where?
Say get my hello.
Where? I don't see you. Where?
TikTok.
Oh, on TikTok. My bad. I'm sorry. I have
friends.
3 chat windows. I'm sorry. It's hard to stay. What did you say? Hold on. I wanted to see what you said.
I just want y'all to know I'm.
Oh yes, 10K.
So if you guys,
you the best.
If y'all thought, yeah, there's no way. Bye.
Love you.
If y'all thought.
Where's my kiss though? I didn't get a kiss. Oh. Censored.
Trying to get them spicy.
What? That was a good kiss before. I wanted the other one.
It might burn.
Oh, this is burn. Oh, it's the it's a lip plumper. It's gonna burn my lips. It's okay. Bye. Love you.
Say hi to me.
Yes. D said hi, April. Hi. We got some people. Yeah. Greg says cute. Monica says hi. Love you, honey. Bye. Okay. What was I even talking about? I don't. Every time April comes and gives me some kisses, I like distracted. Okay. I was talking about, I don't remember. Monica. Oh, Monica. Yes. I was talking about, like people hiring creators who are just starting out. So like one of the things I talk about in Gifted to Paid in the program is, like there's so much value that you can bring to brands that have nothing to do with how many followers you have. The best example I can give is that there is so many talented folks out there who are, let's say, photographers or videographers, and like that's what they do. Maybe they do wedding photography or drone photography for real estate or whatever, right? There's a lot of people who are like very talented with their craft who don't have a large social following, right? And so one of the ways in which you can make lots and lots of money as a beginner creator is using your platform as your portfolio when you pitch brands and companies, local businesses, right? And so you say when you reach out to them, your pitch is not, oh, I'm going to like talk about you on my YouTube channel that has 10 subscribers. It's like, no, hey, check out this video of, this amazing wedding I shot in the mountains of Utah or whatever. Or one of my friends, Joshua, is like a drone photographer, so he does this type of thing, right? And so that's the pitch. And so you link them to your YouTube channel. At that point, it does not matter at all how many followers you have. Yeah, maybe you have some like kind of baseline foundational street cred because you have your social accounts, but that's not what you're pitching. Your pitching is like, let me create some content for your website or your social platforms. And, a lot of creators don't think of that as a sponsorship or like a brand deal, but I do. One of my missions and goals for creating, all this content and doing Creator Wizard is to broaden everyone's perspective, broaden everyone's vision of what a sponsorship is. Because in my view, that is a brand deal. You are helping a brand do something in exchange for money. Right. And so I believe that in the first, a part of your creator journey, the first, 5, 10K followers, whatever, that if you do want to work with brands and work with companies, that this should be your focus, helping other brands, other companies achieve success by helping essentially be a freelance content creator, hired gun, essentially, freelance creator who can basically parachute into their business, create amazing content that they can use on their website, on their platforms for maybe e-commerce, store, use for paid advertising, and so on. So there's so much value that you can bring beyond just your vanity metrics on social media. So Monica says, we are going to watch your lips plump now. I hope not, because I don't know if you've ever tried that, but man, every time I kiss her when she's wearing those, it burns. I don't know how y'all do that. It's pretty impressive. We got Mocha in the chat. Dean Fam says, my first brand deal was a gifted to paid deal. This course is absolutely amazing, D. Thank you so much. So great to hear you, and glad you had some nice time away with your family this weekend. Let's see. Greg said, okay, we got Greg in the chat, said, I need to reach out to you. I feel that it's impossible to get deals. And Veronica says, I feel the same way, Greg. They reach out, but they want to gift, not pay. Greg says, yeah, for real. It is hard, and I need to make a marketing kit, I think. It's all new to me. Okay, hey, great news for both of you. Greg and Veronica, you know what? One of the bonuses in my gifted to paid course that's launching on Wednesday is 5 media kit templates they're Canva templates. So if you use Canva, it's free. And I designed these media kits specifically for brand attraction. Okay. Because one of the things that I talk about in the program is that, for example, with your media kit, you need to be designing your media kit to be something that is publicly accessible, not something that brands have to email you for. You need to reduce the friction of them being able to learn about you, right? And so whether this means going into your link tree and having a PDF, that they can click on and download. This is not like a state secret. You should not be sharing proprietary information like your rates in your media kit. And that's one of the reasons that a lot of creators don't share their media kits publicly, because there's stuff in there that they don't want their regular followers, their normal followers to see. And so the solution is to remove all the stuff that you don't feel comfortable with your regular followers seeing. Okay? You need to be including things like case studies in your media kit, which is something I have in the template. You need to be including things like your testimonials from potential brands that you've worked with. Even if you've done gifted stuff, that is okay to create case studies of, affiliate deals or gifted deals that you've done to showcase your capabilities were you to partner with the brand. The things that most creators include in their media kits, like their bios, a little bio about them, and links to my social platforms. This is how many followers I have. This is my demographics, my audience. Yes, all that stuff is important, but that's the last page. That's page 4 or whatever. It's not page 1. Page 1 is case studies and testimonials. Okay? And that is what I include in these templates in my course as bonuses, because I got sick and tired of like seeing all these templates that Canva has. Like, bless their heart, I love Canva. But like if you go and you search media kit templates, it's all the same. It's all like, like bio, links to my platforms, all that stuff, which you need to be thinking more strategically than that. And so that's the reason that I felt really compelled to make these templates, because it was like, especially if you want to work with brands, you need to be like thinking more, one step further with the way in which you're constructing these media kits. Okay. Financially Free Journey says, They sent me a finger heart. What on earth is a finger heart? But thank you. I appreciate it. Financially Free Journey says, I just joined, but I have a question. How do you track your ongoing content creation jobs, like invoicing? So I'm a little old school. I use QuickBooks Online. We've been full-time creators for 8 years now, going on 9 years. And so we have a lot of different income streams. So affiliate marketing and, brand partnerships, YouTube AdSense, all this stuff. And so when we incorporated our business, we have an S Corp, then, part of being an S Corp means that you have to run payroll, right? So we are our employees. Even though we're owners and shareholders, we are also employees of our organization. So we pay ourselves payroll. So there's all these like subtleties. And so having a program that is somewhat sophisticated like QuickBooks allows you to, kind of manage all those different parts of all those different income streams, as well as all the expenses, right? Because this is one area that a lot of creators don't think about is there's so many things that you should be expensing for your creator business, like internet, your phone bill, right? Like production equipment, cameras, all these things that, different software subscriptions, Canva, right? Like, whatever, software tools or whatever that you're using, expensing the subscription to QuickBooks. That's something you can expense, right? And so like having a robust tool in my view, like QuickBooks is really helpful, I think, but there's lots of other solutions out there. If you're not looking for something as nuts to bolts as QuickBooks, there's other tools that you can use like FreshBooks and other things like that. But I'll tell you, like once you get to a certain point, I really, really would recommend hiring a bookkeeper, because not only are you going to be offloading something that is not in your zone of genius, because let's be frank, I did it for a long time, and like accounting, even though I did take it in school, it's not my zone of genius at all, right? And so like that money that that we pay to our bookkeeper every month is just like, you handle it. That's the other thing, is that they know they're much more sophisticated. They can work with our CPA and all that stuff to like do our taxes at the end of the year. So this could represent a savings from a tax perspective. At the end of the year, very significant tax savings, right? If you're doing things correctly. And so yeah, I think it's money well spent. I actually have a video on my YouTube channel all around when and whether you should formalize your creator business into a LLC or an incorporate, S Corp or whatever, and what it can actually mean from a tax perspective for you at the end. I actually give like real numbers and examples and all that stuff. Full disclosure, I'm not a financial professional. This is not investment advice or financial advice or anything. But I have been doing this for a long time. And so if that's something that's interesting, I would definitely recommend checking out that video on my channel. Ben Brune says, this guy looks like the Shazam actor. That is wild. Really? What? I don't even know who the Shazam actor is. Is that a good thing or a bad thing? I don't know. Thank you. Veronica says, case studies and testimonials. I never thought to include that. Geesh. Thanks. Of course. Absolutely. Absolutely. Definitely. Financially Free Journey says, thank you. It has been hard to find the best way to track all the moving pieces. Yeah. In fact, this is the root of, I think, a lot of anxiety for most creators when it comes to, doing, long-term partnerships or getting repeatable work with brands, is they are just not organized. And they work with a brand once, they execute the deal, they post the content, they invoice them, and then they never talk to them again. Or they just forget, they have a new deal that they're working on, and then they just kind of never reach back out to the brand. And unless you are systematizing, you're setting up processes behind how to keep track of all this stuff, how to build out a sales pipeline, right? For your creator business. This is a foreign concept to a lot of creators, but is like my mission to teach folks about this, because in reality, it is so much easier to convince the partners and the brands that you worked with before to hire you again, right? And so you absolutely need to be keeping track of this stuff, because the moment that you invoice them, the moment that you finish that partnership, you better be pitching them on the next idea, because that's how you generate this type of repeatable income working with brands. And so that's like a major focus of my Brand Deal Wizard program, which is the my live cohort-based course that I teach 3 times a year. And so the next cohort of that is actually launching in October. So if that's what you need, if that's something that you're looking for, is just like injecting more certainty and clarity into your strategy working with brands, then definitely check that one out. Brian's Lawn Maintenance says, insert Homer Simpson meme walking backwards into the bushes. Brian, I can already tell that you and I are going to get along very well because my language is GIFs. And so I know exactly what GIF you're talking about. And yeah, I'm assuming you're talking about the media kit thing. But that's okay, man. That's why we're going to do this one-on-one soon. T-minus 2 hours. It's going to be great. Let me take a swig. So if you're just tuning in now, my name is Justin Moore. I'm the founder of Creator Wizard, and I teach you how to find and negotiate your dream sponsorship. So if you have any questions around working with brands, negotiating brand deals, how to pitch a brand, please let me know in the chat, because my time is your time on this chat every single week, and I love answering all your questions. We got a question from Passport Goat. Passport Goat. Is that a goat in your profile photo? I can't really tell. What is the best way to find the best point of contact for a brand? So this is a great question. So the best way to find the best point of contact at a brand is to understand, first of all, that there is a difference between titles depending on the size of the organization. So if you are trying to target a large multinational conglomerate brand, okay, Walmart or Target or some of these huge brands, the social media manager, if you find that person on LinkedIn or some other networking site, that person does not handle paid influencer campaigns. Okay, that person likely handles the content strategy for their social platforms, and in reality, the person who handles their Instagram is probably a different person who handles their TikTok. And a big brand like that probably has 10 agencies that they've offloaded this expertise to. So to take you a little bit behind the scenes of how this works is that big brands oftentimes have different agencies in reality. So they have a media agency who handles point for the entire media strategy. So they handle, so where are all the places that we're going to be advertising in all countries, right? Sometimes they have different agencies in different countries a lot of the time, right? So our broadcast TV ads, our out-of-home buses, bus billboards and bus shelters and like print magazines, right? Our digital strategy, social strategy. We're running, TrueView ads on YouTube, working with influencers, right? So there's so many different marketing tactics that these agencies are responsible for these big brands. So when you're DMing Walmart on their Instagram or something and be like, oh, I'd love to collaborate with you, you're going to get ghosted, or they're not going to respond, or they're going to say, thank you so much, we'll pass along the right person. Have you ever heard of something like that? Right. And so the first advice I can give around finding the best point of contact at brands is understanding that, it depends on the size of the organization, because by the same token, if it is a small family-run business, okay, and you go onto LinkedIn and you see that there's only one person working in marketing at that organization, that person is wearing all the hats. They're doing all those jobs, right? And so they're, managing every single place that they're doing marketing, and they're doing, all the influencer campaigns, if they're even working with influencers, right? Because a lot of times, small companies, like working with influencers or creators is not like the first thing they go to. It's probably more like running Facebook ads or YouTube ads or pay-per-click ads on Google or Bing or something, right? That's probably because it's more attributable, right? So again, like understanding that not all titles are made equal. This is something I go into in extreme detail, by the way, in week 1 of my Brand Deal Wizard program. It's just like understanding how do you think about the different titles and targeting the right person, and then understanding how do you find their email addresses and so on, because there's nomenclature that you can look at. So it's like, okay, if you can find, there's tools that you can use to do this, by the way, but like if you know that, like, okay, the nomenclature is like first dot last at brand.com or something like that, right? You can reasonably assume that once you find the right contact that you want to reach out to, that their nomenclature also is first dot last. And there's not that many nomenclatures that brands use. It'll be like first dot last at brand.com, or it'll be first initial last name at brand.com, or it'll be first dot last. There's all these like different things, but it's like there's not that many of them. The larger organizations get, the more complex, like they try to make the nomenclature a little bit more harder to guess, because you guessed it, lots of people try to send them cold outreach, right? And so it becomes a big problem when you work at a big organization like Amazon or something. They're notorious for having different types of email addresses that are really hard to guess. So, but anyways, like that's really my main tip is like, you have to educate yourself around this topic, because it's not simple, right? Like one of the things that I do in my Brand Deal Wizard program, which is so much fun during week 1, is we do live contact hunting. So I tell people, all right, tell me your dream brands that you want to reach out to in the chat, and I will find exactly the right person who I think you should reach out to. And so people will be like, oh, the Forever 21 or H&M or Notion or Grammarly or whatever, right? And then we do this. I share my screen and I walk through the process of like, okay, this is how I'm thinking. I'm looking at these different titles and I'm like kind of talking it out of like understanding what's the difference between a digital strategist and a content marketing manager and a social media manager and a brand manager, an associate brand manager, and like or if now we're talking about agencies, right? If we're trying to find the agency contact, account executives, account directors, coordinators, like there's all this stuff. And so you have to educate yourself around all this stuff to be understanding who you should reach out to. Because what I have found is that when creators first start pitching brands, what they'll do is they'll reach out to like the social media manager, right, at a very big brand, and then they either don't hear back, right, or the person responds and is like, sorry, not interested. And then the creator thinks, oh, well, pitching doesn't work. That's what happens, right? They think, oh, it just doesn't work. When in reality, what do you do when you receive an email that was not meant for you? Right? It's not your job, right? And someone pitches you and you delete the email or you don't respond, right? And so that's what these, people are doing at these brands. And so what I am trying to teach folks is that if you spend time to educate yourself around, like, make reasonable assumptions of, hey, you know what? 95% sure this is the right person who handles this, then your pitches, your response rate is going to skyrocket. Right? Because you spend a little bit more time figuring out the right person, and then you send a very compelling pitch. There's a whole other side to this, which is like you need to make sure that your pitches are compelling and that they'll open it and respond and get excited. But it's like those two major components, like you got to send it to the right person and you got to send them a compelling pitch. And so those are the two things that we cover in week 1. But anyways, by the way, if this is something that's interesting to you, go join the wait list for Brand Deal Wizard. It's just branddealwizard.com, because I am capping enrollment at 50 creators for the next time. And I've already had several people prepay to reserve their seats. So if this is something that you are really definitely sure that you want to do for the next cohort, send us a DM or send us an email and we can get you set up. All right. Brian's Lawn Maintenance says, Paul, even Justin uses my transition on the podcast. I need to get a sip of water. Yeah. All right, we got D-Mac tuning in on IG. We got Carla McKenzie, Georgia Shu, the Cha Lut House. Thank you all for tuning in. At Home is announced. Thank you for tuning in. Man, TikTok is popping. Hey from Sunny D. Hey from sunnyD.ugc. I am in for the next cohort. Cannot wait. Yeah, because you got access by referring 50 creators to my newsletter. So stoked for you. Thank you. All right. Passport Goat said, no, it's not a goat, it's a monkey, but thank you for your answer. You're welcome. I'm sorry. I can't, it's so small. I can't really see. Foodie friend, Amanda says, thank you so much for all your help. Of course. I'm so glad that, these tips are, helping you. I got roses from foodie friend Amanda. Thank you. I really, really appreciate that. So yeah, we got Greg Priest tuning in on the YouTube chat. What is up, Greg? Thanks for tuning in, man. So what questions do you got for me? about brand deals, negotiations, media kits, pitching brands, please let me know. My time is your time. And again, if you're just tuning in here, I would love for you to join my newsletter. This is a newsletter I send out every single week, twice a week, actually on Mondays and Thursdays. Mondays are all about motivation Monday, mindset Mondays. Holy cow, my mind is mush right now. Because I really wanted to start sending out more emails to folks that get them past this like imposter syndrome, figuring out how to actually be more confident during negotiations, understanding more complex negotiation strategies. And so I've devoted Monday to like this topic. And so I'm so stoked about that. And then Thursdays is when I actually share paid brand sponsorship opportunities every single week for free on Thursdays. And so this is kind of the 1-2 punch of my newsletter cadence right now. And if you want to join, it's completely free. It's just creatorwizard.com/join. I think there's almost 7,000 creators on the newsletter now. It's just crazy how quickly it's grown. Foodie friend Amanda says, I love the bi-weekly emails. Thank you so much. That really, really means a lot to me. Really. Hold on. The Juliana Moateng said, Justin, I got my first biggest deal from your pitching template that you shared in one of your videos. Thank you so much. Okay, hold on a second here. Juliana, hold on, I'm taking a screenshot of this right here real quick. I'm so proud of you. That is absolutely incredible. Juliana, will you make me a testimonial? Like, that would mean the world to me. Like, you got your first biggest deal just from something I shared in one of my videos. Like, will you make me a testimonial? That would be amazing. Like send me it, film it on your phone. It doesn't have to be complicated. Like, that would just mean so much to me. I'm so proud of you. That's so cool. Or just DM me and just tell me about it. Like, you don't have to make a testimonial. That's so cool. I'm so proud of you. Monica said, I have spent literally a college education learning social media, but they don't go into specifics like you do. Monica, you know what? You know why? This is what I truly believe. I believe that most people gatekeep because they want you to like pay them. They want you to join their course or pay them for coaching or whatever. And I truly do not care if you ever pay me a dime. Like, that's truly how I believe. Yeah, I have courses, I have coaching, I do all that stuff too. Because I always believe that there will be people who need more heightened and detailed help and coaching and expertise. But it's just like, I believe information wants to be free. And like, I just truly do not believe that like anything needs to be behind a paywall. And the other evidence of this is that the project that I'm working on right now, I'm so excited about it, is I am going to be making my brand deal pricing calculator that I created for my course that I've spent so much time working on and developing. I'm going to be making it free soon. I'm so excited. I'm going to be, again, like I have this just fundamental belief that information wants to be free. And I want to help the most amount of people possible. I have a mission to help creators big and small land 1 million sponsorships by 2032. And so I love having this North Star because it makes all of these different decisions in my business so amazing, which is that, or it's so clear, where it's just like, okay, if I want to help that many, creators get that many deals, I need to be making moves that help accelerate and help more people, right? Because I can't just do it like just one-on-one sessions all the time or my courses and all that stuff. So it's like I'm slowly making decisions for my business to do this. And again, like there's always going to be people who need help with like, okay, all right, I got this deal. Like I need help with it. Let me hire you, or like, let me take your course because I want to really, dive deeper into this stuff. And so like, it's coming. I'm working with like a Philip, who's a friend of mine. And he is helping, kind of develop the dashboard and the website and all this stuff. And so it's going to be, I'm not sure exactly how long it's going to take, but really, really excited. There's so much exciting stuff that I'm working on, but this is one of them. Really, really, really stoked for this. It's going to be a lot of fun. And it's like, and honestly, candidly, it's, I think that like, I actually learned this from, if you guys don't know who Thomas Frank is, This is like a lesson that I learned from him. He was interviewed on Jay Klaus's Creative Elements podcast, and this is kind of a philosophy that he talked about, which is that information wants to be free, and so his logic is like, I'm going to make the highest quality, like most impactful, like chock full of value products and stuff and content as possible, because people will just, like, word spreads, right? Like, people will just, like, they'll buy it or they'll watch it and they'll just be like, this is so much value. I cannot believe this is so cheap. Either it's so cheap or it's free, and I can't believe this. I'm going to tell everyone I know about this, right? Because then you create like evangelists, right? Of like all these people in your community, all these people in your audience who just tell everyone they know about you, right? And so this is my logic too, and part of Thomas's philosophy has rubbed off on me, and so I'm just going to give away my brand deal pricing calculator for free. And I'm going to make videos explaining how to use it and all this stuff. And it's just like, because honestly, like there's so much, even though I did develop it for my course, there's so much more like advanced topics that we cover, and the community element and all that stuff in my brand deal wizard program. So it's like, there's so much stuff in there, right? So it's like, it's not, and like the old me would have, a lot of people have told me like, hey, one of the major reasons I signed up for your program was the calculator. I wanted to get access to that too. And so it's just like, on the one hand, it's like, oh man, like, is that going to affect like, the amount of people or like the, enrollment sizes or whatever? But it's like, at this point, I just don't care. Honestly, like if that means enrollment numbers go down, I don't care. That's fine. Like, I just want people to like be empowered. I want to be advocates for creators. And so this is just like one more path along that journey. So yeah, I'm really, really excited about that. Monica said, I found my mentor, which is you. The more you give, the more you receive. Yeah. You know what, Monica? I truly believe that and appreciate you. All Things Nat. What is going on, All Things Nat? I was watching on LinkedIn, but I had to hop on TikTok. Man, All Things Nat, I feel like we connected like way back in the day. I think it was like maybe on the reward style bloggers group on Facebook or something. Like, man, that's like a long time ago. So it's good to see you, Nat. Let's see here. Thanks for Milo the Labernese for tuning in. BBG Sin. So proud of you, Justin. Thank you. I really means a lot. The KMH family said, yes, the brand deal calculator is so helpful. Yes. Shadow Destiny said, awesome. Yes. Yeah, All Things That said yes, reward style. Totally. Oh my goodness, guys. So let's see here. We got just a few, maybe 10 minutes or so left on the live stream. So please let me know in the chat what your questions are about brand deals, negotiating, pitching. My time is your time, as always. Again, my gifted to paid course is launching in T-minus 5 days, y'all. Can you believe it? On Wednesday. So if you want to figure out how to convert all these free product offers that you're getting in your inbox, you want to figure out how to turn those into paid partnerships, you are going to want to grab this course. The investment is a pocket-friendly $500 or 3 payments of 3 installments of $185. I really wanted to make an offering that was more approachable or obtainable for a lot of creators. This is my most requested course by far over the last 18 months. And, the ways in which you have been able to like partner with me or work with me, I understand it's not obtainable for all creators. My brand deal wizard program is $3,000, and my one-on-one coaching is $1,000 an hour, right? So I get it, right? And so I really wanted to develop something that was for kind of the aspiring beginner creator at the outset of their career, and I wanted to ensure that it was at a price point that was feasible for folks. So just really excited about this one, and it's going to again be my first fully on-demand program, so you can binge it, watch it at your leisure. And frankly, like I've had, like a lot of folks they would DM me or email me over the last 2 years and just be like, I really want to take your course or whatever, but I can't wait another 3 months or whatever. And we had just finished a cohort or something. And so there is this element of like, I really wanted to have something where people could just like join up, sign right away. The one thing that I will say, just full disclosure about the gifted to paid program, is that there's no community element to it, right? Because it's on demand. That's the kind of the really magical thing about the Brand Deal Wizard cohort, because it is live, the community element really is amazing. But in terms of like the on-demand program, there's no forums or no community or anything like that. So if the community element is something that you're looking for, then I would look more into the Brand Deal Wizard program. So anyways, Larita VP says, when will you make the pricing calculator free to everyone? I don't know. Working on it. Hopefully within the next couple months, maybe. I don't really know. I have to figure out like kind of the work with the developer and like all that stuff. I just have so much stuff going on that it's like another thing on my plate. But it's coming. Just don't worry. I mean, if you're on my email list or if you're on my newsletter, don't worry. I will definitely announce it when that's free. But yeah, really excited about that one. Let's see. I have a Monica has wondering, influencer versus UGC. Will that be in your course? Yeah. So I do talk a little bit about UGC in my program, but it's not a UGC course. Like I know there's like UGC courses out there and stuff like that. But it is definitely like dedicated to folks who are looking to grow their presence and work with brands, longer term. And they do have on the roadmap that they do want to grow their own influence on their own platforms. But I talk a lot about like kind of what what I mentioned at the beginning, one of your initial questions, Monica, was like, how do you like work with brands when you're just starting out? You have a small platform or a small channel. And so, that is the UGC spirit, right? Where you create content for brands to use in other ways on their platforms for paid ads and so on. And so a lot of the spirit of that is definitely covered in the course, but it's not like a UGC course. It's not like, okay, I'm going to like, teach you how to work with like 20 brands a week and like all that stuff. So, there's other folks out there who cover like UGC in more detail. But my experience set is definitely around helping folks who want to grow their own presence as well, even though they may be at the outset of their journey. So hopefully that helps. Larita says, what is UGC? UGC is user-generated content. And so this is like something that's kind of blown up. It's been around, honestly, for like a decade, to be honest, or more, this idea of like creating content for brands. But it definitely has, especially on TikTok, like a lot of people are like, UGC. Actually, Sunny D in the TikTok chat, she has a whole program, I think, or coaching and stuff where she helps folks who want to get into UGC. It's like it can be quite lucrative if you can develop a really good reputation working with brands, kind of as a hired gun for creating content for them. And so, it'll be the kind of thing where you're creating lots of content for them on an ongoing basis that they can use in their paid ads and on their social media and stuff like that. So, hopefully that helps. Okay. Veronica this is probably gonna be our last question. Curious what website or app I should be on to get noticed by brands. So I actually got you. I have a list of 50 brand deal platforms that you need to be on as a creator. If you just go to branddealplatforms.com, it's a free list of like 50. There's so many platforms out there, but this is just a curated list of a lot that I've found that have been useful for folks. So definitely just go there and download it and, make sure that honestly, you should be on every single platform. I know a lot of creators are just like, I don't want to sign up for another platform, or like, really, do I have to sign up for another platform? It's like pain in the butt. And I get it. I totally get it. But we have had a situation where a new platform reached out to us and said, oh, sign up for our new platform. And we're just like, okay, sure. Didn't hear anything from them for 6 months. And then they brought us a $30,000 deal. Because honestly, like a lot of times when brands are recruiting for campaigns, like they're looking for a very particular type of creator for that campaign, for that particular promotion, and you just happen to check that box, all the right boxes, right? And so sometimes it just takes a matter of being patient, right? And so you really, really, really need to be ensuring that you are having this long-term mindset when it comes to working with brands and being on these platforms and just being patient, right? And so like definitely go download that list. The KMH family said, you are amazing, Justin. So glad we crossed paths. You've been such an inspiration. You have a pure and genuine soul and heart. And give April my love. I appreciate that so much. Hannity, I really, really, really do appreciate that. Really right in the feels. Really means a lot. Monica said, could you say that again? Branddealplatforms.com. That's the list. Branddealplatforms.com. It might be like you should be able to download it there. Like I'm pretty sure. Hold on, let me make sure that I still have that URL valid. Branddealplatforms.com. Yeah, it's still there. Branddealplatforms.com. Definitely go check that out. Check it out. All right, y'all. I can't believe how quickly these live streams go every single week. Holy moly. Hope you found value from this. Had such a blast talking about the 5 negotiation tactics that I learned from my kids. I hope you have a wonderful weekend. And I will see you again next week, same time, same place, 10 a.m. Pacific, 1 p.m. Eastern. And I'll see you on the interwebs. Peace.